Hello everyone, this is Shelby with Shelby Creations. I was asked by one of my subscribers and friends, Sherry Liberto, to talk more about the subject of vellum. And what I use for vellum, when I don't have actual vellum, is tracing paper. And they come in basically two types. You get a lightweight, or what we would call normal tracing paper, and then you get a heavier weight or a premium one. However, the one here is just the basic that I got at Hobby Lobby. It comes in different sizes, so you can get the size that you want. And we can use tracing paper for a lot of things, mainly because it's see-through. And I love using tracing paper. But what I generally try to get is the kind that you can purchase. And I got this particular one. Let me see which is, all right, that's front. I got these off of, I think, from journalsay.com. And yes, I order from Journal Say, I order from Temu, mainly because of, well, a few reasons. One, I can't find this in the stores here. And when I do go online to try and find it, it's really expensive. And as a crafter, I try to conserve my pennies and let them go as far as possible when I do purchase things. So, but as you can see, when you stick that with a background, it is really pretty. But you don't have to use it just as is. Now, when you ink the edges they don't take ink very well, and when they do, it does take a while to dry, so once you ink them, you need to set them aside. But you don't need to use the full sheet. I mean, and you've seen me, I will tear them and use this piece here, that piece there, like tear it around there, and I'll even put them on the same page, even separately. And but it's all the way you want to use them. That's going in my journal later. But when it comes to the regular type, now I do have both the thin and the thicker ones. The thinner one is great as an overlay. Like I said, if you wanted to put something down so that you've got an overlay under it, it works great, especially over photos. And if you've got watercolor or you've done something with charcoal or pastels, this is great to go over it. But it's also good, this is something I bought recently. I save some of my packaging because this will make a great card, as a tag or something. And I can either glue the back down or cover the back. I'll also use this part here mainly because I like the window. And when you put the thin vellum behind it, whatever you put under that window, you can see through. I see the flower there. So it makes it's good to have, it's good to use, but it doesn't stop there. Get some of these out of the way. So you can see my desk is very short here. Another thing I do with vellum is the pieces that I have, my scraps, I do not throw away. I will turn them into other pieces that can go on as overlays on different things. Pull this one out. I mean, you can't see too much behind it, but you can see pretty much. Now, this is done with normal primary colors or primary types. This is what you get when you use pastels. You get a very light, very delicate coloring. A few other ones that I have done with just the scraps laying around here. And one thing you'll notice, it wrinkles up. But, set a heavy book on it, it'll be fine. That's what I end up doing with these before I use them. And then to put them on a page itself. Well, let's go back to this for a minute. Show you the easy way to do this. Let me find that. And for when you color, I like using the heavier vellum. So, excuse the noise. I need to move these over here out of the way. Now, I've got a piece of vellum here, and what I'm going to do is and this is just to show you, I usually glue this down to my mat, but you're not going to be able to see much that way on the coloring part. So I'm going to just tape this down here on this piece of cardstock. And this is just for demonstration purposes. And you can use any type of, water-based markers. I have these here from Click Art. I have pastels, and I have what they call darks. I got these when I was in Japan, but I'm sure you can order Click Art from, or similar, just about anywhere. And all I'm going to do is, I'm going to doodle right here, just here, there, yonder. It doesn't matter. All it is I'm getting color down. We'll use a bright here, say fake flowers, an idea of flowers. So you don't have to be artistic to do this part. You just have to be able to scribble. Let's try this color a little bit. Add a little bit of accent here, put some up here. All I'm doing is getting color down on my cardstock. I got another one over here. This always comes out as a pretty color. And I'll set those aside. I'm gonna come in here. This is just basic water. Plain water, that's it. And I'm going to spritz and watch those colors bloom. And that color is going to move whichever way you spritz your water. And look at that. And you can move it around. What I do like to do is sort of, because there is a lot of water on here, I'll bring that color over to the edge, get a lot of it off, because it's going to dry and it's going to pool. Sop some of that water up. And then if you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it, but it's already started to buckle. Now I put this down fairly flat and fairly straight, but it's still going to buckle. I don't want that water running off on my desk. I think that's about it. But you see what we've left here with? I'm sorry, I thought I was all in frame there. And you can blot it. The color's pretty much going to stay there for a little bit. And then set that aside to dry. And it's just that easy. Do whatever designs you want on there. And like I said, I'm going to set this aside, let that dry. Another thing you can do with vellum, get this off my mat, is pockets. Pockets are great for vellum. See, I had a piece of, I want to make this into a tag, but I want a pocket on it. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go ahead and ink around it. And then we're going to put a pocket there. So, and I've got all these little strips. I just keep them all bundled together. Take one off. And I'm going to need a Fabri-Tac glue. I'm going to show you why we're going to use Fabri-Tac. Alright, Fabri-Tac is a silicone glue. And this is the way our silicone glues are going to dry. This is a water-based glue. And you can see how it buckled. This is a clear glue like Tombow and things, and you still get the buckling. When you turn it over, you can see these two glues where you can hardly see the Fabri-Tac at all. So if you're gluing things from the front, your best bet is with a silicone glue like Fabri-Tac. So I show that to you. Now, you can just put glue all the way around and then put it down. But I found the best way, because this is going to be a small pocket, what I'm doing is I'm getting it level across the bottom, and I'm not worried about how wide these sides are going to be, because I'm going to put this, I'm going to back this tag with something. So I'll fold that over, and then I'm going to come in here with my Fabri-Tac. And I know I got to refill it again. I go through so much glue. Put a little bit there, and then squish that down. Come over here. We'll put a little bit here. We'll come back and we'll squish that down. So, whoops, get over there. So we've got our pocket pretty much done, but we still got an opening here. Now, I don't want to put glue under here, but the best way I have found to close off that bottom pocket is, and like I said, this is to demonstrate, but I will be using this tack. I'll run a bead of glue across the bottom. Then I'm going to come in here with my washi tape, and you can use whatever kind you like, whatever will go with the pattern you're using. Put that right over the glue. But let's face it, washi is good for decoration, but for adhering things and holding things, it's not a very good tape. But then it wasn't meant to be a permanent tape to begin with. So yes, I have that on my sides sticking out. I'm simply going to come in here and trim that off just like that. Get off my fingers. And there, now I have a pocket. And it's a pocket that I can use all the way to the bottom and all the way from side to side. So, cap my glue. So if I'm going to put something in my pocket, it fits. And I can still see what's in there. So if you have, let's say, a real pretty background paper, and you just want a little something for your pocket, you can still see what's in there and still be able to see your background paper around it. So these are just some of the ways that I use vellum. I mean, you don't need to do the glue on the back. You could use tape, you know, whatever you have that you want to use, and it will adhere it just fine. Now, like I was showing you on the different tape, the different glue things. Something else I wanted to show you while we're here. Glue stick. I just have the Elmer's glue stick here. It will hold vellum, but it doesn't last. And I've even tried permanent glue sticks. I don't have any luck with them at all. But, and I'm going to fold this in half to show you because I got a spare place here in the middle. If you're going to tape something down, move these out of the way, find the end of my tape somewhere. I guess this, there we go. Well, I'm at the end of that tape. Oh, we'll pull out another one. And I get my tape from a Cherry on Top. And this is their 1/4 inch by 60 yards of double-sided tape. And it's like $2.99 or $3.99, something like that, for this big roll. And see, this also I like, because they will come in here and put a piece of tape where you start at. See, what did I do with my pointy tool? So that you can find your starting space. Try going this way. That's the way the tape goes. once I get it up. Well, giving me a hard time here. Here we go. Now, I'm going to open that up, and I'm just going to put a piece of double-sided tape right down there to show you how this will go and how you can see it through, or not see it. Let's see if this will, come on. I'll do it my way. Trying to peel that up. Is that up? Come on, stay down there. Sometimes you have to burnish it good. And then we'll peel that tape off. And don't know if you can see where that tape is, but when you use the double-sided sticky tape, you cannot see where that tape is very much. I mean, we know it's there because that's where you can faintly see it, but double-sided sticky tape is also good to use with vellum, and it holds. I mean, I'm pulling on that and it's not coming off. So if you're gluing vellum, I do recommend double-sided sticky tape and Fabri-Tac glue. And if you, let me see, here we go. This is what it looks like. Beacon's Fabri-Tac. No, I'm not sponsored by Fabri-Tac. I'm not sponsored by Cherry on Top. God, I wish I was, but I love their products. So, but if you like what I've shared with you today, these few tips on vellums, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button for more crafty tips and tricks and creations coming your way. And hit that notification bell so they'll notify you next video that goes up. So until then, have a great weekend. Bye, guys.